Another week has gone by. That means we are 1 week closer to the release of College Football 26. I believe 4 weeks from today is the official worldwide release. So we are moving on to our next part of our little preview series of teams that I think are good in College Football 25, might get a little bit better into College Football 26, and why I think they are teams you should try when that game finally comes out. Today, obviously, we are looking at the SMU Mustangs, their Veer and Shoot style offense, which I understand is not for everybody. I personally think it is one of the best offenses you can run in this game if you can get somewhat comfortable doing it. Now, I am by no means an expert in that, but I do think we found a pretty effective way for us to run it. In fact, tomorrow is going to be gameplay with SMU in the Road to the College Football Playoff mode with our semifinal and a national championship game. I'll give you a quick explainer of how I like the Veer and Shoot. Is come out in like a wide, obviously. I usually just use base wide or wide offset, come out in a run, and go where the numbers are. If they only have 5 people in the box, just run the ball. Run the ball 100 times. It's okay. That's kind of what the offense is for. Attack where the space is. If they do come out with 6 or more in the box, find where did those guys come from? Where is the space now on the field? An audible to a pass, maybe an option, an outside run. Just attack where the space is on the field at all times. Just keep it as simple as possible. Keep it as effective as possible. If I can do it, I believe everyone should be able to do it. I personally have become a big fan of the Veer and Shoot. But SMU specifically, yes, they are losing a ton of talent. So you're going to have to walk with me. You're going to have to trust me here a little bit. But here's why I think they are a team you should try in College Football 26. As with essentially every one of these previews, it does start at quarterback. This is also a very important thing for me, at least in the Veer and Shoot, is having a quarterback with mobility. He's able to stretch the defense with quarterback runs, either designed or just scrambles on pass plays, and Kevin Jennings can certainly do that. 88 overall, 87 speed in College Football 25, had a solid year for SMU last year, 3,250-ish yards. I think he came just short of that number. I just rounded up a little bit just to make it sound a little better. 23 touchdowns, did have 11 interceptions, so which is pretty high. His completion percentage was a little low, so we're not expecting a huge jump in terms of like throw power, short, medium, or deep accuracy, but he did run the ball 101 times, 354 yards, 5 touchdowns. Remember, sack yards count against the quarterback there, so it kind of keeps their rush yards down a little bit more. So we're still expecting a solid overall jump from Jennings, just maybe not a huge one. Maybe 90 overall, 89 speed, somewhere in that ballpark. And now he doesn't have the size of like Arkansas's Taylon Green or Florida's DJ Lagway. So if you're looking for the next Jalen Milroe, I don't think it is going to be this guy, but we don't need him to be in the Veer and Shoot. I think he is going to be an unbelievable quarterback and just give you a lot of different things you can do. Speaking of giving you different options, we talked about that a lot with Arkansas last week. I love having the different options of how you want to set up an offense where you are going to have something similar at halfback. This is where I'm going to need you to trust me, because this at first glance looks real bad. Brashard Smith, of course, senior, 7th round draft pick by the Chiefs. He is gone. Our 92 overall, 97 speed. Having that speed at halfback is incredible. In the Veer and Shoot, you know, you're coming out in those wide formations, spreading the defense out. If you get those numbers, you can pop a run, just get through that first line of defense and outrun the entire secondary. May happen in tomorrow's gameplay. So he is gone. LJ Johnson Jr. also gone, transferred to Cal. Jalen Knighton also gone, transferred to West Virginia. McFall is coming back. Wheaton, I couldn't find anything about. He wasn't on the transfer portal page. He wasn't on the SMU roster, so I'm assuming he is not going to be on the team next year. So as it stands right now, McFall is our only halfback. Now the big loss, of course, Brashard Smith, 97 speed. How could we ever replace that? There's no way, nobody out there, right, that could ever be faster or better for a Veer and Shoot, right? Well, let me introduce you to Chris Johnson Jr., the Miami Hurricane halfback, transferring to SMU next year. 98 speed with platinum takeoff. So somehow, of course, the overall is going to take a big hit here, but we're taking 97 speed that we had there with Brashard Smith, plugging in a 98 speed Chris Johnson Jr. in a Veer and Shoot offense. The speed options, those run plays up the middle, it is going to be an absolutely explosive backfield for the Mustangs. Or you're going to have an option here. You could take Chris Johnson Jr. and put him out at wide receiver if you really wanted to, because they got a heck of a power back coming in from UCLA as well. With TJ Harden, 83 overall, 87 speed, workhorse, armbar, head first, downhill, was pretty solid for them last year. 124 carries, 500 yards, 2 touchdowns. The year before, 156, 830 yards, 8 touchdowns. So I know he's got potential to have a big year here. But the big thing for me is this is giving you that flexibility. What do you want to do with your backfield? Do you want to spread them out and then take a power back when you got the numbers, or do you want to spread them out and put 98 speed Chris Johnson Jr. back there? You could put Johnson Jr. out at wide receiver, keep the power back in, run with Johnson Jr., do speed options. There's a lot of fun things you're going to be able to do in the Veer and Shoot with these 2 transfer halfbacks coming in. So even despite losing Brashard Smith, keeping Kevin Jennings, and with these 2, I think you're off to a great start with this Mustangs offense. Now, where we're really going to feel some pain here is at wide receiver. Keyshawn Smith, a senior, is of course gone. Jordan Hudson is coming back though, and this is huge. 86 overall, 92 speed, was very solid last year. Tied for second on the team, 39 catches, 422 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Get him up to an 88 overall, maybe a 93 speed, something like that. We got pretty solid wide receiver 1. Now, Roderick Daniels, gone. Dixon, gone. Our one takeoff currently on the team, Romello Brinson, senior, gone. Cozart, transferring to Kentucky, gone. Bailey, gone. Carroll is in the portal but hasn't committed anywhere as of right now, so he could potentially come back. Lavender is coming back, so that essentially leaves us 2 guaranteed receivers coming back. It is a 93 speed Jackson Lavender, which is great, and Jordan Hudson, who should be at least a 93, 94 speed next year. So that's a solid 2 for us to start. But in a Veer and Shoot, we want to have at least 4. And luckily, transfer portal came through here a little bit here as well. And they could have freshmen that are coming in. I never checked that because those are just so hard to project where they might possibly be rated in this game. So we just look at who's coming back in transfers. Speaking of transfers, they headed to James Madison. Grabbed themselves a pretty solid wide receiver there. Well, they grabbed the wide receiver 1 from the Monarchs, 81 overall, 91 speed Yamir Knight, who was very solid last year as well. 53 catches, 605 yards, 4 touchdowns. So we could see a solid overall boost incoming for him too. Now he is on the smaller side, so he's probably going to be an outside receiver, I would imagine, with how I like to run the Veer and Shoot, but still, we only really had 2 guaranteed receivers coming back. This is a heck of an addition to the room, and we do got one more from Colorado State. And Dylan Goffney, 76 overall, 88 speed, but much better size, 6 foot, 210. Should help out with the run blocking a little bit, considering how much we like to run in that Veer and Shoot offense. He was a red shirt last year, so we can't expect too big of a boost incoming for him, obviously. But at the very least, that gives us 4 reasonable wide receivers, considering how many of those players were not going to be on the team next year. I feel like that's 2 pretty good portal additions there. Is going to help a ton in the wide receiver room. But a room we didn't need to make any additions to is tight end. An 88 overall, 83 speed, 6'4" tight end, RJ Maryland, who is returning to the Mustangs next year. 50-50. The gold sure hands is an incredible ability for him to have. Now, he did only play in 7 games last year, but he was pretty dang good in those games he did play, with 24 catches, 359 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Now, with him having such limited playing time, I can't project too big of an overall boost headed his way, but we don't need one. You just copy and paste this guy onto SMU next year and we're fine. He's like the base wide set in their playbook. It's 3 wide receivers and a tight end. So we'd have Hudson, who is coming back. You could use the JMU wide receiver and either the transfer portal guy from Colorado State or their 93 speed Lavender, with Kevin Jennings in the backfield and Chris Johnson Jr., and you got yourself a heck of an offense here with SMU. Now the big thing, the defense. The defense, we'll see. We'll see about the defense. Where we are unfortunately losing left end Elijah Roberts, 5th round draft pick to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but Robertson is coming back, and Robertson did have 4 sacks last year, so we could see a good overall boost coming for him. But honestly, the big thing we're looking for here at defensive end is Isaiah Smith, who is not in this game, but was tied for 2nd on most sacks for SMU last year as a defensive end or edge rusher. So if he decides to join the game next year, that's going to help a ton. Robertson should get a good boost here because right end doesn't look very good either. Harvey is gone, where Walton III is coming back, But if we can get that Isaiah Smith in there, that is going to help a ton. They did go for quite a few transfer portal additions at right end, but none of them seem all that impactful. We got DJ Warner from Kansas. He's a 73 overall. Didn't really do much last year. Ja'Kai Lang from Missouri. He's not in the game either. He got 3 sacks last year, so that could be a good addition if he decides to be in college football 26. They also grabbed an Akil Washington from South Alabama, who is an 81 overall, doesn't have any abilities though, only has 7.5 sacks over 5 years he's played, 4 seasons with Liberty, 1 with South Alabama. Not expecting a ton there either. And then last, Trey Wilson from Baylor, another 73 overall, without very many stats last year. So they do have some transfer guys coming in, but none are really going to be impactful. We just really, really are hoping Isaiah Smith decides to be in the game next year to help with some of the edge rushing. Where's that D tackle? Also kind of a wasteland here. We've got 1 of these defensive tackles coming back, and it's not even any of these guys. These guys, senior, junior is, and he decided to leave as well. The only one we got coming back down here, senior. 68 overall, Kevin Allen is the only one we got coming back at the D tackle spot. But we do have, how many is that? 5 defensive tackles coming in through the portal. Again, none super impactful, but some solid, so I don't really need to go through and show every single one. We can just talk about him here just for a second. Jeffrey Mba from Purdue. He's listed as a right end in this game, listed as a defensive tackle though on the transfer portal site and College Football Reference. I'm assuming he's going to move to D tackle. 75 overall, had 30 total tackles, 1 tackle for loss last year. I mean, we just need bodies in this position because really we didn't have great defensive tackles anyway. We did have 1 grip breaker. It'd be nice to get one on one of these guys, but wouldn't be holding my breath. William Spencer from Louisville, 72 overall. He does have 92 strength, so that could result in him getting a grip breaker if that gets boosted a little bit. Didn't really have any stats last year. Terry Webb from Texas State, 79 overall, 93 strength, 4 tackles for loss, and 1 sack last year. So that could be our Lockhart replacement for sure. That could 100% result in a grip breaker. Keviante Spears from Memphis, 75 overall. Nothing really last year for us to talk about. And DeMarje Lewis, also from Purdue, 78 overall, listed as a left end in this game, but much like the other guy from Purdue, was listed as a D tackle. Everywhere else had 3 tackles for losses last year. So grip breaker, potentially, maybe. I think one of those guys will get it. I think our best bet is that Terry Webb from Texas State. And then our D tackle room's essentially the exact same, despite losing, how many is that? 6? These 5 plus the one down there. We're losing 60 tackles, and essentially the room's going to play the same in College Football 26. We just would love to get that 1 grip breaker in there somewhere. Left outside linebacker, only 1 on the roster here. Brandon Booker, he is coming back. Middle linebacker, we are losing Wilson, who led the team. I think he had 114 total tackles last year, which is insane. That makes sense why he has wrap up. So losing him is a little unfortunate, but both of these 2 are coming back. They're still a little too slow for me, probably, to actually have on the field, but they could get some boosts. Maybe Maizano, he played quite a bit last year. I mean, a little bit. 15 total tackles, 3 TFLs, 1 sack. So he could get a decent upgrade, but we are going to be missing Kobe Wilson for sure next year. We're at right outside linebacker. Ahmed Walker, senior, is going to be gone. Kilgore is coming back. Smith is going to Western Kentucky. So the linebacker room isn't looking great. The defensive line is looking okay, solid, nothing fantastic. We do have 1 linebacker coming in from the transfer portal, Zake Barker. 100% butcher that first name, but he is transferring from East Carolina. He's a 75 overall in this game, but last year had 86 total tackles, 12 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks, a pass defended, 2 forced fumbles. I could see a big jump from 75 overall, maybe get him up to somewhere in the 80s. Then we at least have another usable linebacker on this team. Now, where this defense flips though, and we look a little shaky here on the front end, is I think their secondary is going to be very, very good. So start with Crossley, of course the senior, he will be gone. Harmon though is coming back, 81 overall, 90 speed, had 1 interception, 8 passes defended last year. So we could see him get up to 83, 84 overall, maybe a 91 speed, something like that. Should be very solid. Davis Robinson also coming back, 6'1", 97 speed corner coming back. Massive. That is just so huge for this SMU secondary. Just these 2 alone were already off to a great start. AJ Davis transferred to Washington State. Chambers is coming back though, 6 foot, quick jump, 90 speed. So we got 3 solid corners coming back right here. Coming down here, there was one I wanted to make sure we called out because he is a 96 speed guy that we did not put in during our gameplay coming out tomorrow. He was so far down here I didn't even check, and I tried looking him up and I found this kind of interesting. Alexander Rogers wasn't on the SMU portal site, wasn't on the football roster. Did a little further digging, got to his Instagram where he lists himself as a former D1 athlete and is an entrepreneur on Instagram, doing just marketing stuff for businesses, I guess. So good for you, Alex. We wish you stayed with your 96 speed so we could have a 96 and 97 speed corners, but I think we'll manage just fine with Harmon, Davis Robinson, and Chambers. And one last portal addition they got here from the Syracuse Orange, Marcellus Barnes Jr., 71 overall, but is a 92 speed. Didn't really have any stats last year, so we're expecting that to stay pretty much in the same ballpark, but that's still going to give us 4 corners with at least 90 speed, assuming none of these guys get upgrades. Harmon definitely will. Then we have the 97 speed, Davis Robinson, Chambers, not so sure. But that's at least going to give us a good base at corner to pair with some unbelievable safeties we got, starting with Isaiah Nwakobia. Again, not sure I'm saying that right, but he is coming back for his senior season. 88 overall, 87 speed, 6'1", 202 pounds. Unbelievable to have him back. In fact, all these free safeties are coming back. Potential sub linebacker options for us, especially this Jalen Moses, 93 speed. He is a little small, but still, just being able to put another 93 speed on your defense is very, very helpful. But Isaiah here was part of a 3-way tie for the team lead in interceptions last year, had 3 picks last year, 100 total tackles, 4 tackles for a loss, half a sack, 3 passes defended. He's got to get up to a 91, 92 overall, get him up to a 90 speed. Total stud free safety locked in. And like we said, good sub linebacker options behind him here as well. Strong safety, McGill is gone, but Moses, our 89 speed silver knockout strong safety, is coming back, and he was also part of that tie with 3 interceptions last year, 73 total tackles, 6 tackles for a loss, 6 passes defended, 1 forced fumble. Between him and Isaiah, your starting safeties are going to be locked down. Awesome, awesome players. We also got Milner Jones coming back, 5'11", 198, 88 speed. We are losing Cale Sanders Jr. as a senior, but we got these 2 coming back, all those free safeties coming back. Sub linebacker options, who do you want to start up top? You're going to have plenty of things you want to do. You can move one of them out to corner if you really wanted to, though I do think the cornerback room is looking pretty good. So the secondary, I think, is looking awesome at SMU. They're not as tall as we saw at Arkansas, but I don't think any secondary is. That team was kind of preposterous how big they all were. And if College Football 26 plays similarly to College Football 25, you can make up a lot just by having a good secondary. You don't need the best offensive line. You don't need the best linebackers. There's a ton of teams I don't play any linebackers on the field with. As long as you have a really good secondary, you can typically play defense. Then combine that with a Veer and Shoot offense with Jennings coming back, 98 speed Chris Johnson. The wide receiver room, I think there's enough there to make that work very, very easily. And a stud tight end. I think SMU is going to be an incredibly fun team for you to use in College Football 26. So I hope you guys enjoyed this preview. We got 3 more to go after this, and then it's release day. But I will see you guys next time. Until then, take it easy.